For nearly 80 years, the US dollar has been the undisputed king of the global economy. It is the currency used to buy oil, gold, and international goods. But right now that throne is shaking. Countries around the world are quietly dumping the dollar in a coordinated effort to break America's financial control. We are witnessing the beginning of a global shift that could destroy the value of your savings and change the world order forever. This is the story of de-dollarization and why the money in your pocket might soon be worth a lot less. To understand how serious this is, we have to look at the BRICS alliance. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa have joined forces to create a new economic bloc that challenges the West. And they are not alone. Dozens of other countries, including Saudi Arabia and Iran, are lining up to join. Their goal is simple: trade with each other without using the US dollar. Why? Because they are tired of the US using its currency as a weapon. When the US sanctioned Russia and froze its dollar reserves, the rest of the world got scared. They realized that if they disagree with American foreign policy, their money could be taken away instantly. So they are finding alternatives. The biggest threat to the dollar is the end of the petrodollar system. Since the 1970s, Saudi Arabia has agreed to sell oil exclusively in US dollars. This created a massive, constant demand for dollars around the world. But recently, reports have surfaced that Saudi Arabia is considering selling oil to China in yuan. If this happens, it is game over. The demand for dollars will plummet, and trillions of dollars currently held by foreign central banks will come flooding back to the US. This would trigger hyperinflation unlike anything we have ever seen. But it gets worse. While countries are dumping the dollar, they are buying something else at record rates: gold. Central banks bought more gold last year than they have in over 50 years. China, Russia, and even European countries are stacking up gold bars. Why? Because gold is real money. It cannot be printed out of thin air by a central bank. They are preparing for a new system where currencies are backed by real assets, not just the promise of a government that is $34 trillion in debt. So, what happens if the dollar loses its status as the world reserve currency? It does not mean the dollar will disappear, but it will become much weaker. Imports will become incredibly expensive. Everything from electronics to clothes to coffee will double or triple in price. Your standard of living will drop significantly. The privilege of printing money to pay for deficits will end, forcing the US government to either slash spending or raise taxes to unbearable levels. It is a slow-motion car crash that most Americans are completely ignoring. The timeline for this collapse is debated, but the trend is undeniable. The dollar's share of global reserves has dropped from 70% to under 60% in just 2 decades. And with the rise of digital currencies and blockchain technology, the alternative payment systems are being built right now. The BRICS nations are even discussing a new shared currency backed by gold and commodities to rival the dollar directly. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is geopolitical reality. The world is moving towards a multipolar financial system, and the US dollar is losing its monopoly. If you are holding all your wealth in dollars, you are taking a massive risk. Diversifying into hard assets like gold, silver, or real estate is historically the best hedge against a dying currency. The era of effortless American dominance is fading. The death of the dollar is not an event that will happen on a single Tuesday afternoon. It is a process that is accelerating every day. If you want to protect your financial future, you need to pay attention to what the central banks are doing, not what they are saying. Make sure to subscribe to the channel because I will be tracking this global shift and helping you navigate the turbulent times ahead. Thanks for watching.